Hello guys and welcome back to another video in Sports Deals, and today we'll be predicting the NFL honors. So basically the NFL honors are the awards at the end of the year that the NFL gives to players who've exceeded in their category. We'll be covering 5 of the main awards, no 6 awards. The MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Comeback Player of the Year. If you don't know comeback player year, it's basically a player who was injured who didn't play last season, and this season they came back and had a big performance on the game and basically did way better than last year. Okay, so I'll be starting. Oh yeah, also before we begin, remember to like and subscribe to my channel, Derek Vlogs, and Monster Sports 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so for MVP, everyone knows it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. He just had such a good season this year. Bunch of passing yards, a bunch of touchdowns. Some people say Patrick Mahomes, but I can't see it. Those people are wrong. Aaron Rodgers has barely any interceptions, barely any turnovers. Led his team all the way to the NFC Championship game, 13-3. Won the division, won the conference. He's just had such a good year this year. I can't see anyone else winning it other than him. Okay, so Monster Sports 11, your pick.
Yeah, I have Aaron Rodgers too. Aaron Rodgers, he threw so many the most touchdowns, and he didn't throw that many picks too. Patty Mahomes also looked a little rough at the end of the regular season. That kind of solidified Aaron Rodgers' win for MVP, and I just don't see Aaron Rodgers losing the MVP thing.
Okay, now Derek Vlogs.
I also say Aaron Rodgers because one, his passer rating was pretty good, and also they had at some points a bit of a hard schedule, but they still most of the time he didn't throw incomplete passes, and he threw some picks, but some of the picks that he threw were the receivers' faults that bounced off their hands. Only one or two was actually his fault, so I think he just played better, deserves it more than anyone else.
Okay, so all three of us had Aaron Rodgers. The next category is Offensive Player of the Year. They usually don't give it to quarterbacks unless the quarterback did really good. But this year, I don't think they'll give it to quarterback. I think they'll give it to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has an outstanding year, 2,000 rushing yards, just really hard for a running back to get. And sometimes his team even played bad, but he basically was the main offensive weapon on their team. He got them a bunch of wins, yards, and touchdowns. He's just been a beast all year. He has a couple of nasty stiff arms that made the highlight reel. He's definitely winning Offensive Player of the Year. I couldn't see anyone else unless they decided to give it to a quarterback, which they some usually don't. Now I'm on Sports 11.
Okay, for Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry just demolished the league in the rushing stats, and he had a couple good receptions too. And he had a lot of rushing yards, a lot of rushing touchdowns. He was basically the beast of the NFL this year. I mean, and second, I have for second place for this award, I have Stefon Diggs because he also led the league in receptions and yards. So I wouldn't be surprised if he won that too. But ultimately, I'm giving it to Derrick Henry.
Okay, now Derek Vlogs.
I was deciding between either Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry, or Davante Adams because all three did really well. But I feel like Davante Adams maybe since he's already been a good player, so he wouldn't be out of it. And then I was mostly deciding between Henry and Diggs, and I don't know. I think Henry's gonna win it, but I don't know. I just feel like the NFL is just gonna rob him and then give it to Diggs since Diggs also did pretty good and then he was on a new team. I think Henry deserves it, but I just think that Diggs might end up getting it.
Yeah, usually running. Actually, I don't know. This last year, wide receiver won it, so I don't know. Okay, so next category is Defensive Player of the Year. This was really between two players for me. It was between Aaron Donald and TJ Watt, but I'm going to give it to TJ Watt. He just had such a good season. He was a contender last year. He just lost out to Gilmore. But he has had a pretty good season this year. Let's see. He had 15 sacks, 43 tackles. That's pretty good stats. That's good enough to win the Defense Player of the Year, and I think he'll take it from Donald this year. And also, I think he had more of an impact on his team because Donald, he played pretty good, but I think for the last couple games, he was injured. And TJ Watt stayed healthy this year, so even though that's not really Donald's fault, but that might boost up TJ Watt a little bit since he played more games and had more stats in those games. Now it's Monster Sports 11.
Okay. So for defensive player of the year, I have a sleeper pick. I have Devin White. I know no one has him winning defensive player of the year, and I don't expect him to, but I think he should. But if we're going real, like who I think will actually win, like who I think most people will vote for, I'm giving it to TJ Watt. But I really think this year Devin White deserves it. I know he's like not even close to being a front runner, but he's like top 10 in tackles, top 10 in like he has a lot of sacks, and he's just a really good defender.
Okay, now Derek Vlogs.
I was, I would say probably T.J. Watson's. Even though Aaron Donald did pretty good, he had rib injuries and stuff, so he was out for some games. And then T.J. Watt was he led the league at some points in like sacks and like tackles or sacks for tackles of loss. So I'll probably just give it to him.
Okay, so Derek Vlogs went with TJ Watt. No, wait, you went Aaron Donald or TJ Watt?
T.J. Watt.
Okay, so me and Derek Vlogs went TJ Watt, and Monster Sports 11 went with Devin White, which is a sleeper pick. Okay, so now on to the rookies. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's really between Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert, but I think they'll give it to Justin Jefferson this year. He had an outstanding performance for like a wide receiver, and he was one of the best even as a rookie. Like Herbert, he did pretty good, but there's a lot of other quarterbacks over him. So I think the fact that Justin Jefferson is competing with veterans and like other players who've been in the league a few years, and Justin Herbert's like in the middle of the pack compared to the veterans and stuff, I think they're gonna give it to Justin Jefferson. Okay, now Monster Sports 11.
Okay, so I'm giving it to Justin Jefferson, but I know how everyone's saying Justin Herbert will win it and will be like behind Justin Jefferson or might even win it. But I think Jonathan Taylor will come in front of Justin Herbert in the Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. And I think the order will be 1, Justin Jefferson, 2, Jonathan Taylor, and 3, Justin Herbert.
Alright. Now Derek Vlogs.
Yeah, I also think Justin Jefferson because I was looking at a thing about like AJ Brown and some other good receivers and like some of their stats that they had in a few games, and then he had that in a matter of 2 games, and he had more like receptions and yards per carry than some of these other people that were getting a lot more targeted who were former contenders for it. So I think this season he'll win it.
Yeah. Okay, so next is Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know too many defense rookies, but I think Chase Young, like, he was injured for some time, so he might not win it. But I just feel like for the time he was on the field, he played pretty good. 7.5 sacks, which is pretty good for a rookie year. And he's, like, helped that Washington defense, which carried them to the playoffs a lot. So I feel like he can win it pretty easily. And now Monster Sports 11.
Okay, for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Patrick Queen. I know no one's noticed what he's been doing because he was like picked later in the rounds and stuff. But I would give it to Chase Young. But what put him over the edge is because Chase Young was out for a lot of the year. So that's why I give it to Patrick Queen. And Patrick Queen's overall having a solid season for like a normal NFL player, not just a rookie. He's playing phenomenal for a rookie too.
Okay, so you went with Patrick Queen. And now Derek Vlogs.
Well, I don't really know that much defensive rookies, and I forget who it was. I don't know if he was a rookie, but he might be. It was a cornerback, but I don't remember what his name is, so I'll just go with Chase Young, I guess. It was one of those two. I just can't remember what his name was. I don't know if he's a rookie. He was either a rookie or second year, but I'll just go Chase Young.
All right. And now for the final category, Comeback Player of the Year. I think this one's obvious. Alex Smith. Like, even though he didn't play as good as other injured players that came back, but he just had survived through that big injury that he almost lost his leg, and I think he almost died to infection also. So that deserves him the award. And he led his team to the playoffs. Fortunately, he was injured, but his backup played pretty good also and almost got him the win. So Alex Smith is definitely winning this one, and they should give it to him. Now Monster Sports 11.
Okay, before I give the Comeback Player of the Year, I forgot to say, but Antoine Winfield's also a good option for Defensive Rookie of the Year because he's been playing really good for the Bucks. But my Comeback Player of the Year, as Pat Rule said, or Sports Rules, I don't know. Yeah, Alex Smith is going to win this. He came back from a really brutal injury. No one thought he would come back, but yeah.
And now Derek Vlogs.
Well, at the beginning of the season, what some people thought, I was thinking maybe Cam Newton, but as the season went on, we saw how that unraveled. So I'd probably just go. And then Alex Smith came back and started doing pretty good. And their team went. They're at the first 6 games, they won 4, or they won 3 or 4 of them, and the ones that they lost were pretty close. So and he also had some leg problems, and he almost lost his leg. So I'll go with him. But at first I was gonna go with Cam Newton, but then Cam Newton proved me wrong.
Okay, so those are our predictions. You can go I'll put a link in the description to our award in the season video, who we thought was winning all these awards, and it's pretty different. You can see every single category except 1 or 2 is different. So that's cool to see. And yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to me, Derek Vlogs, Monster Sports 11, and follow all their socials. And see you guys later. Bye.